Back on the cheap seats, 96.3. Cameron Kurtz and Josh Komnick. We're out here at Jake's Furnishings, and sitting to my left, the man in charge out here, Jake himself.
Good morning, sports fans.
Yes, and Jake is, I don't know about proudly, but sporting his Redbird St. Louis Cardinal hat. So we're going to get into the Redbirds. Jake, what has been the fall for the Redbirds?
Where to start? Let's see.
There's a
Pitching,
long list.
timely hitting.
Let's go with the timely hitting, because I agree with you there. Let's go with that a little bit. The Cardinals, they just haven't been able, and this has been the case all season. It's not a recent development. It's not something that's come on lately. The Cardinals just can't get the timely hits. We leave too many guys on base. And
what kills them the most is we have the best double play combination in baseball in Pujols and Molina. They can't run out a ground ball anything this year.
Right.
Okay, let's talk about the other team in the NL Central. Well, we won't talk about the Reds, but we'll talk about the Cubs a little bit. The Cubs, they've got themselves an interim manager, and Mike Quaid.
Yeah.
Josh, what do you think about it?
Well, we've done a lot better since we got him. So, you know, I'm glad that I guess Piniella left, because it was coming to a point where he was going to be done anyways. The Cubs were getting nowhere with him. He was retiring, and why not bring somebody up and try him? It seems like the players, I don't know if they like this guy better, but anyway, they're playing better, and they're actually winning now. So I'm okay with it. I haven't seen any decisions that I have been opposed to, but I haven't watched them either, because we're 19 games out of first place. So I haven't turned it on Comcast for about 3 months. But why not try somebody else?
I was going to say, the question is the Cubs dancing around the fact that they're not going to be hiring Ryne Sandberg? I mean, that's almost what it looks like. Why would you not bring him in an interim situation to see what kind of knowledge he can bring to the Major League game?
And then if you do decide to hire him, how easy of a transition that'd be.
Exactly right.
The problem, you're right, Jake. But the problem is, if he fails, where do you send him back to AAA and say, "Oh, sorry, you didn't do well here, so now you're back demoted and you're
make
down."
him a base coach. You make you bring him in and
hitting
then,
coach.
That's
or
exactly right.
Coach, something.
Put him in a situation where give him a chance to succeed. But let's face it, it's a tough situation in Chicago, no matter what, as any manager of any sports, because the town demands winning.
Right.
Unfortunately, they haven't had winning for a long time, and I'm a Cardinals fan, but at the same time also a Bears and a Bulls fan, and I haven't felt a lot of winning for a long time either. So, but in a town like that, they want a winner, they demand a winner. You're wanting to bring. The Ricketts family's going to want to save money.
Right.
That's already on the table. That's done.
Well, I think you're right. And why not Sandberg? One, it's going to put people in the seats because he's an ex-player, and they're not filling it now. And as sure as heck, they don't want to come and see Mike Quade be the third base coach or be the manager. They're going to come to see Ryne Sandberg's team, the beloved second baseman for the Cubs. They want to see, if anything, it's going to put more people in the seats, because I've watched some recent Cub games, and there's been a lot of empty seats, and that's not usually what happens.
No. Here's another story earlier in the week. It didn't get a whole lot of attention, but it's worth mentioning. Trevor Hoffman got his 600th save the other night. Now think about this. 600 saves. A guy goes out and gets, we'll say, 30 saves a season. All right, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good if you get 30 saves a season. So you got to think over a 20-year career. The guy's 42 years old. Pitcher for the Brewers, 600 saves. That's pretty impressive.
He was blowing the Cardinals away with an 85-mile-an-hour fastball and a changeup, and I think it was 76 or something like that. And he was just absolutely tearing them up.
Yeah.
So
one reason his arm has lasted so long, his number one pitch has been a changeup.
Yeah.
No harm on the arm, no slider to twist the elbow or anything like that. And he's had an unbelievable career. Of course, a Hall of Famer. But basically, with one pitch, you talk about he might have touched 90 early on in his career with his fastball.
Yep.
But his changeup was so good, he could throw you 3 or 4 straight changeups, and you would be out in front of every single one of them.
That's exactly right. It's just below especially in Major League Baseball, there's a comfort level of pitch speed.
Right.
And he's just below that comfort level, and it just looks like he tears them up.
Yeah, he does. He's been doing it for a long time, too.
Now, Jake, what do you think as far as the standings go in Major League Baseball? Who do you think is going to be the team that's got the best chance for the wild card? Obviously, we're hoping for the Cardinals, but it's 6.5
that's a tough uphill climb. Well, the Phillies, I think, are going to win the East. I'll be honest, I like Colorado in the West. They're going to leapfrog 2 teams. I like San Francisco, unfortunately, for the wild card.
Yeah. Well, and the Braves are right there also with that.
Yeah, the problem with the Braves is with losing Chipper Jones as well as Troy Gloss.
Yeah.
It seemed like, man, they had such a good unit that was playing so well together. And in baseball, that's hard to duplicate, especially in season.
Yeah.
And they lost both those guys for the rest of the year, so that part of it's done. So
yeah, even the great Bobby Cox can't come back from two big hitters out of his lineup.
That's exactly. Well, not only big hitters, but also big core guys.
Yeah.
They were very vocal in the clubhouse, and everybody knew they had to respect that.
Right.
The J. Hay kid, Jason Hayward, he is a stud. I mean, I saw him playing spring training, and I stepped back, and I was like, this kid reminds me a little bit of Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah, he hits it as hard as anybody I've seen a line drive hit.
Such a good-looking swing and a good, hard-nosed player, runs everything out.
Yeah.
You got to like seeing that out of young players.
Exactly. Hope it lasts.
Oh, exactly.
Our final thing on the agenda today, former running back of USC and current running back for the defending Super Bowl champ New Orleans Saints, Reggie Bush, could lose the Heisman Trophy. Gentlemen, your thoughts on that, and Josh, we'll start with you.
Well, why? I mean, if you think of that year, you're going to think Reggie Bush won the Heisman anyway. What are you going to take it off his mantle at home, or what are you taking the trophy out of his trophy case at home? It does nothing to me to take the Heisman away from him, because if I'm going to look at Reggie Bush, I'm going to think whatever year he won the Heisman is, I'm going to think he won the Heisman, and regardless if they took it away or not, it doesn't take anything away from me. And I really don't think that Reggie cares. He's already been to the ceremony. Now he just doesn't get to go to the trophy presentation every year.
That's right.
Who was the second guy in that year? It'd be Vince Young.
Really?
Vince Young. So
yeah, that's right, because they went at it for the national champions.
Title. So Vince Young will probably get a Heisman hung on his mantle now.
Really? That's a good point. I never thought about that.
The 2005 Heisman Trophy winner is, of course, the one that we're talking about. Hard to believe that it was 5 years ago already. At this point, though, it's really out of Reggie's hands. It's really up to the Heisman Trust to go ahead and do that. Now, the reason why all of this has been brought up, and of course, Reggie Bush, we've been talking about the NCAA and what they have found wrong with him. To give you a little bit of background on it, though, they found major violations just in the football program at USC. Okay, this was back in June. But this is what really prompted for them to take a look at Bush a little bit longer. He's accused of accepting money and other benefits from sports agents while he was still in college.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah, so they were thinking that a couple of free gifts were sent his way.
A couple.
There's probably more than a couple.
Cars
and homes. That's more than a small. That's more than a small gift.
Well,
the rental of.
Trying to be professional here. We're not going to say the guy just took it all and
it wasn't a Ford Escort. I can tell you that.
No, I'm thinking maybe an Escalade, something kind of nice. I don't know.
Very nice, but gentlemen, why it comes down to this, why it's about now, I don't know. I don't think Reggie really knows, and really the Heisman Trust, I don't even think they really know right now.
And you have to consider too, is what he did the worst thing? Because I'll be honest, and I know it didn't get proven in court of law, but it did happen. O.J. Simpson didn't get his Heisman taken away.
Right.
And he murdered people. So, I'm just saying, it seems like that's a little worse than taking some money.
Yeah.
It really does.
You would think so, but you would think so, but not in this instance.
Not in this case. That's going to go ahead and wrap it up for us here on the Cheap Seats. We want to thank Jake for having us out here today. Jake, you're always a good location for us and a good host to bring the show out here. Thank you for that. And of course, you want to make sure you catch out that Illinois SIU game. That could probably be one of the surprising games that's going on today. Just real quickly, want to mention it was 20 years ago that Howard Griffith had that 8 touchdowns.
Unbelievable.
8 touchdowns.
Some people don't get 8 touchdowns in a year.
Yeah. Yeah. 20 years ago, happened in 1990. So I thought with closing thoughts on that, those would be our parting thoughts for today. He's Jake Johnson. I'm Cameron Kurtz. He's Josh Komnick. Thank you for listening to the Cheap Seats on 96.3. We'll be out at the Logan County Fairgrounds next week for the National Rail Splitting Competition, so make sure you join us out for that. Until next time, we'll see you down the road. Thanks.